Good evening and welcome to the Scituate Planning Board. Thursday, March 26, 2026, being held here in the Select Board Hearing Room in Chief Justice Cushing Highway. We have a posted agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
First on the agenda is a continued public hearing, special permit in the Hummerock Village Residential Overlay District.
I move to accept the applicant's request to continue the public hearing for the special permit for the South River Marina development in the Hummerock Village Residential Overlay District for 21 Central Avenue and 7 Marshfield Avenue for applicants South River Marina LLC and Union Street Realty LLC until May 28, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. and continue the time for action until June 30th, 2026. Re-advertising should occur.
There a second?
Second.
All in favor?
How long are we going to continue this?
I had a talk with Adam today. I will be talking with Adam in the future.
Okay, thank you.
People want, yeah,
Really, you get better.
I told him that.
You get better things to do.
second on, it's a public hearing for accessory dwelling special permit 35, Beaver Dam Road.
Okay,
Is everybody for?
I might have something I had to read.
Okay.
Um. Okay. In accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 40A, Sections 9 and 11, and with Scituate zoning bylaw, Section 530, accessory dwelling special permit, and Section 940 referrals, the planning board will conduct a public hearing at 6:35 p.m. on Thursday, March 6th, in the Select Board Hearing Room at Scituate Town Hall, 600 Chief Justice Cushing Highway. The subject of the hearing is an application submitted by applicant owners James and Sally Ritchie for an accessory dwelling special permit for a large accessory dwelling unit to be located in a new addition to the principal dwelling at property located at 35 Beaver Dam Road, Scituate, Mass. Property as shown on Assessor's Map, Block 50-1-0. Plans are available for review, etc., etc.
Hi, who's present?
Who's
Is anybody here?
We're online.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Well, thank you. Can you tell us what you plan to do? Oh, please identify yourself with your address, sorry.
Our address is 35 Beaver Dam Road in Scituate. And we plan on putting an addition onto our home, which will consist of an upper level, large ADU. And we're looking for
A garage on the bottom.
yeah, there'll be garages on the bottom. We plan on converting one of the bedrooms in our current house to a art studio and taking that bedroom and putting it into an ADU to keep our home at the level of 3 bedrooms, which is what we are currently approved for.
Order. Karen?
All right, so as Mr. Ritchie said, they are adding a small addition to the existing dwelling and then adding the ADU. It's on the second floor of the dwelling. The ADU is proposed at 1,349 square feet. The primary dwelling is 3,394 square feet, so it's 39.7% of the floor area, so it complies with the square foot requirement. They have already a 3-bedroom septic restriction. There's a deed restriction filed at the Registry of Deeds. It's a flow restriction, so they can only have the flow from 3 bedrooms. So one of the bedrooms in the existing house was converted to an art studio. It has its own heating system, and it does have a door. And the Board of Health and the building commissioner have come to terms with that it's not going to be a bedroom. There's an office in the ADU. Office technically is the size that could qualify as a bedroom, but, that's where the entry is from the outside, and you can't have egress through a bedroom, and you're also, if you approve this, gonna condition a glass panel door so that there's no privacy in the office, so it can't be used as a bedroom.
That's where it says den office and workman.
I see that you're gonna put an elevator in. You're gonna put an elevator in,
We,
perhaps?
It's
it
it's
is,
contingent.
it's being planned for if we need it. There'll be an elevator shaft there. The elevator itself will not be installed until we need it.
Okay,
If we ended up living there.
we don't have one of those in town, do we? Anybody on Rebecca? Steve?
No, we've got means of egress here.
Yeah, we have two different big ones.
And we're, the parking garage.
Yeah.
There's,
For the accessory dwelling.
there's basically a 3-car garage, 2, that, another bay for, the ADU, and they do have a little park
Oh,
room
that's what this is.
for parking in the, driveway as well.
We can handle at least 8 vehicles. 3 in the garage and 5 in the parking area.
Oh, wow, that's, anything?
Now, will this be owner occupied?
Yes.
Or,
Yes, it has to be.
It has to be.
So
Okay.
to that end, we have, what we always conditioned on with the old bylaw is you have to have a yearly certification. And we are also going to condition on any new, special permit, there's also a deed restriction. That it has to be, that so there'll be a deed restriction, for the owner of the agency as well. And town council has reviewed the draft deed restriction and has no issues with it. It's basically almost the same wording as your use restriction, which they also will have, because you can't have it as short-term, can't be used for, short-term rental.
So the difference, because it's a special permit, stuff they have to obey.
Right,
They
they have
But
to,
then they have to,
How close is the property line?
the side property line, it's 8 feet. On the rear property line, they receive relief from the zoning board of appeals. I believe it's 11.5 feet. It's the same as the existing house. With an accessory dwelling on the side setback, it's the least permissible setback. And so the least permissible setback in the R3 district is 8 feet.
And I presume that there's, that we've addressed the lighting on the stairwell landing stuff. It's all downlight.
But we condition that.
lots of stuff up here. Anybody in the audience have anything to say? No? Okay. Are we ready? Yes, we're ready.
I move to make the following finding that on February 2nd, 2026, applicants James and Sally Ritchie applied for a special permit for accessory dwelling in addition to their principal dwelling at 35 Beaver Dam Road. According to the town of Scituate accessory records and the deed, the property at 35 Beaver Dam Road is owned by James and Sally Ritchie as trustees of the Ritchie Living Trust. 3, based on the floor plan submitted with the application, the planning board finds the floor area of the accessory dwelling within an addition to the principal dwelling to be 1,349 square feet. The floor area of the primary dwelling is 3,394 square feet, according to the application. The accessory dwelling is 39.7% of the floor area of the existing principal dwelling. This meets the size requirements of 530.2F of the zoning bylaw for accessory dwellings, as the bylaw allows a large accessory dwelling unit to be up to 40% of the total floor area of the principal dwelling for large accessory dwelling by special permit. The accessory dwelling is subordinate in size to the existing single-family home. Or the accessory dwelling unit will be a complete separate housekeeping unit and then one accessory dwelling on the lot. 5, the property is in the residential R3 zoning district on a lot of 14,477 square feet. The proposed accessory dwelling structure meets all required setbacks, building height, and yard requirements for principal building dwelling. 6, the proposed accessory dwelling addition is to be located to the west side of the existing single-family home. Access will be via stairs on the west side of the building to an office area and through the stairs down and out through the door in the workshop. 7, the appearance of the accessory dwelling will be in keeping with the appearance of the principal dwelling. 8, the proposed addition plan for 35 Beaver Dam Road, Scituate, Mass. By McGrath Land Surveying dated 11/17/2025 shows the location of the existing principal dwelling and the proposed addition with the accessory dwelling. The plan shows a proposed garage and gravel parking for the proposed accessory dwelling, which appears capable of supporting one car for the accessory dwelling. Ample parking appears to be provided. 9, the applicant owners have indicated they will occupy the principal dwelling. 10, the accessory dwelling will be serviced by town water and a private septic system. DPW requirements will be met for water. 11, there is a recorded 3-bedroom deed restriction for the property, and it is required to remain and be in effect prior to a building permit being issued for an ADU. Technically, a bedroom in the existing dwelling has been converted to an art studio and it will remain an art studio with a door as it has its own heating system. The office area in the ADU would technically be considered a bedroom. However, the room will have a divided glass slide panel door, so there will be restricted privacy and thus a use as a bedroom is not allowed. 12, the ADU site plan shows portions of the stairs extending into the setback. The stairs should be allowable with the proposed zoning amendment for town meeting. 13, the application meets the standards for the Scituate zoning bylaw for an accessory dwelling special permit.
Discussion.
Oh, first second.
Second.
I'm sorry, were you looking for a
You've
response?
been waiting for a second. Go
Second.
Second.
Just a question, well, just the finding of fact says the stairs should be allowed.
I mean, the way you have the bylaw written down, it should, if town meeting accepts the
Yeah, if
bylaw.
they don't, but if they don't, is that,
There's no restriction on stairs.
okay.
All in favor?
I
The finding of fact,
I move to approve the special permit for a large accessory dwelling within a principal dwelling at 35 Beaver Dam Road with the following conditions. 1, except for any changes necessary to meet these conditions, any construction shall substantially conform to plans and materials submitted with the application, including application for special permit, affidavit for the bedroom count, owner occupancy affidavit, plot plan for 35 Beaver Dam Road by McGrath Land Survey dated June 11th, 2025, proposed addition for 35 Beaver Dam Road by McGrath Land Surveying dated November 17th, 2025, architectural plans for the Ritchie residence at 35 Beaver Dam Road, Scituate, Mass. By Rockwood Design, Inc., dated 2/2/2026, consisting of the following sheets. Cover, A2 proposed front entrance, A2.1 elevations, A2.2 elevations, A2.3 elevations, A3 existing first floor plan, A3.1 proposed first floor plan, A4 existing second floor plan, A4.1 proposed second floor plan, A6 existing roof plan, A6.1 proposed roof plan, S1 existing foundation plan, S1.1 proposed foundation plan. 2, the number of bedrooms in the accessory dwelling is limited to 1 in the location and size indicated on the floor plan submitted with the application. The ADU has 1 bedroom and the primary dwelling has 2. There is a recorded deed restriction for the property as it has a 3-bedroom septic system. 3, no further expansion of the accessory dwelling floor is allowed without further review by the planning board. 4, upon occupancy of the accessory dwelling, the applicant shall provide a notarized affidavit that an owner is living in one of the dwelling units. A yearly certification that the owner occupies one of the dwelling units must be provided by March 1 yearly. A restrictive covenant shall be recorded against the property prior to occupancy that the owner must occupy one of the dwelling units as their primary residence. 5, the accessory dwelling within the principal dwelling cannot be used as a short-term rental with occupancy of less than 31 days. A restrictive covenant shall be recorded against the property to that effect prior to any occupancy permit for the accessory dwelling unit. The covenant shall run to the town and be enforceable by the town through injunctive relief and with the property owner required to pay the town's reasonable legal fees and costs for successful enforcement of any violation of a restrictive covenant. 6, all federal, state, and local permits must be obtained prior to a building permit being obtained. 7, all requirements of the Board of Health, Building Department, Zoning Board of Appeals, Department of Public Works, Fire Department, Conservation Commission, and other town agencies must be met prior to occupancy of the accessory dwelling. 8, the ADU shall conform to all the standards in the building, plumbing, electrical, mechanical, fire, and health codes and bylaws. 9, final building plans stamped by a registered architect shall be provided to the town planner, provided prior to a building permit being issued for the review of consistency with the elevations rendering submitted. If the plans differ from the approved plans, approval of the changes by the planning board will be required. Door material for the ADU office must be shown on the plans and it shall be divided light glass panel door with clear glass. 10, water connection must meet all requirements of the DPW water division for the accessory dwelling. 11, any lighting installed shall be down lighting, do not shed light on abutting properties. 12, no on-street parking by occupants of the primary or second accessory dwelling shall be permitted at any time. 13, construction work shall not begin prior to 7 a.m. weekdays and 8 a.m. on Saturdays and shall cease no later than 7 p.m. or sunset, whichever is earlier. No construction shall take place on Sundays or legal, state, and federal holidays. Construction includes idling of vehicles, delivery of materials to the site, and all other construction activities. 14, runoff from the proposed accessory dwelling shall not be increased from the property if there is an increase in impervious area over 25%, then a stormwater permit will be required. Existing and proposed impervious area and percent of increase/decrease shall be shown on the submitted plan. 15, erosion and sedimentation control devices shall be installed to prevent any erosion or sedimentation from leaving the site during construction. Silt sock or silt fence shall be used as necessary and extended around the limit of work, so disturbance beyond what is shown on the plan is not allowed. 16, the appearance of the accessory dwelling will be in keeping with the primary dwelling unless otherwise required by the Massachusetts Building Code, and new exterior stairs need to be provided or secondary means of egress for the accessory dwelling shall be located on the side or rear of the building. 17, at least one private off-street parking spaces shall be available for use by the occupants of the accessory dwelling in addition to those parking spaces required for the primary dwelling. 18, construction vehicles/equipment shall not idle, be parked, stored, loaded, or unloaded in the street. Police details shall be obtained if necessary as determined by the police department. 19, the planning board may require an on-site inspection of the primary and accessory dwelling for conformance to the approved plans and conditions prior to the issuance of a certificate of occupancy for the accessory dwelling. 20, the accessory dwelling special permit must be recorded at the registry of deeds prior to application for building permit and within 90 days of filing with the town clerk. The owner shall provide proof of recording to the planning board. 21, this special permit shall lapse within 2 years from the date of issuance unless substantial use or construction has commenced prior to that time in accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 40A, Section 9. 22, the planning board reserves the right to review compliance with this special permit at any time. This special permit shall terminate if the use is not in accordance with this decision and its condition.
You a second.
Second.
All in favor?
I have a,
Good luck, Mr. and Mrs. Ritchie.
I have
Thank
a
you
comment.
very much.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Totally not appropriate.
So on item number 14, I think that first sentence doesn't quite track, and I think we mean to say site runoff contributed by the proposed accessory dwelling shall not increase the total site runoff for the property. Is that what we're trying to say?
Well, this is the same phrase we've used on all of them.
I know, I missed it before, I'm just saying, it didn't quite make sense.
All right, so you want to say site runoff,
But site runoff contributed by the proposed accessory dwelling shall not increase the total site runoff from the property. That was good.
Clear? Second as amended?
Second amended.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now good luck. Thank you. Okay. Up next. And here.
let's start with
So we're a little ahead of schedule.
advertised for 7:00.
If you have any minutes for
Yes, I do.
outage.
I have stuff.
Okay.
Accounting. I move to approve the following purchase order. Number 2608458 in the amount of $10,003.95 return of surety with interest to the former owner related to the common driveway project at 93 Elm Street, Lot 6.
Second.
Second,
All in favor?
We got substitute surety from the new property owner.
Okay.
So that's why it's being returned to the original owner.
Taking on quite a bit, so. I move the minutes of planning board minutes 3/12/2026.
All in favor? He wasn't here. Anything else, Carol, would you like us to start with anything or?
We can start, we can do liaison reports and, you know.
And you do liaison?
Not much going on these days.
I listened to, conservation, the other night, a very long tragic conversation about Marsh Hill Ave. They still haven't come to terms with what's gonna happen there. It's just dragging on and on and on, has to do, and this is the one where they come from Connecticut and they wanna move up here and they wanna make that ADU.
Right.
Over the septic system,
Yeah,
so
right.
it's a lot of issues.
Right on the beach.
Right on, yes, it's right on the beach, so, they seem to be having trouble coming to a decision with that, so, other than that, things just go on and on, there's lots of building going on in town, that's all. Karen? Busy?
We remain very busy, we have a lot of things coming in, stormwater permits, you know, because we do items, projects, et cetera. We have a gentleman who wants to come into the planning board talk about zoning amendment for self-storage facilities. When, when would you like me to schedule the agenda?
So he's proposing an amendment? or-
He wants to make it, I think he wants to get the planning board to support a bylaw amendment,
Okay,
for a self-storage facility.
Where would he put it?
You won't tell me.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, won't tell me.
We already have
well,
one.
he wants us to make an amendment as in like contract zoning? Or he wants a zoning amendment to a particular district?
I don't know. He hasn't discussed.
I don't think we can zone it for one
No,
property.
right, exactly. I don't know. I don't know if you'd even want to support an amendment or make him do a citizen petition. But he wants to be able to come in and talk to you, and so I
think we should listen to everybody that wants to talk to us and make our decision after
So
that.
we have 2 meetings in April, well, we have more than 2 meetings in April, we have town meeting. We have April 9th and April 23rd. Does anybody have a preference of when they want me to?
Not April, not could you get 23rd?
Okay, I'll try to schedule it for the 23rd.
Do we have storage?
Yeah, we do, we have self-storage, we down in Greenbush.
But it's not allowed in the zoning bylaw. That was given relief from the ZBA.
Because it's already there.
No, it was not already there. It was not already there.
That, where the
They just
storage
waived
is?
it.
Yes,
No, it's not.
no,
No,
no, that's behind it.
Oh,
And around the corner.
It was given relief by the ZBA to be there.
a long time ago.
yeah. So I'm saying it's been
Hello.
there.
Not ancient time
Not
ago.
ancient times, but
So,
more than 10 years.
Do you want me to try to get him on the 23rd?
Yes, please,
Yeah.
have him bring all this information that he could possibly want to tell us. Okay, anything else that
You'll all find you have a letter in your packets.
Yeah.
Not gonna go over the letter, but please read it. It's from town council.
And we are anticipating a lively town meeting.
Well, very
So
likely.
we have, you're 17th floor. 24.
Yeah, I think we're 17 to 24 because that goes to the zoning and stormwater follows, the zoning, and then it goes into other general bylaw, stuff. I noticed today that the warrant was posted on the town website,
Yeah.
so people should be able to read what the articles are.
And I think advisory is 35.
I didn't see advisory, but I'm sure I'll look again tomorrow,
I gotta go.
but I'll look again tomorrow, so.
Okay.
So please put on your calendars April 13th for town meeting. We will be posting for 6:30, in case we need to meet beforehand. Town meeting starts at 7, moderators meeting is April 9th. So by our meeting on April 9th, I'll be able to review with you what happened at the moderators meeting.
What time is that meeting, Karen, 3 or 4?
I think it's 3:30.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we meet half an hour before
Yeah.
Thursday, 6:30.
6:30 on the night of the 13th. I mean, they're expecting it to be a long town meeting. I'm gonna hope that, our stuff gets done, the first night, the zoning. A couple other items that you've been involved in, that are on the consent agenda are, street acceptance for a carriage house in Colebrook. Those are on the, consent agenda as something that is gonna come in the future, which is an easement. An easement for the conservation for the park at Driftway by Dunkin' Donuts. That's for the selectmen to enter into negotiations for an easement. Those are gonna be on the consent agenda, but it's a lot of stuff.
Now, that not consent agenda, that easement, they're gonna enter into negotiations for that easement to give an access, possibly, to the land behind?
Yes and no.
Okay,
Not to read what it says in there.
but I'm wondering if that should be on the consent agenda.
Well, we can always
Well,
check
if somebody doesn't like it, it's just to enter negotiations. It's just to enter negotiations.
Well, if you don't want it, we just say
If
no.
you don't want it and you want more of an explanation, then you have to say hold at town meeting.
Okay,
That's. I mean,
sounds like a plan.
That's the standard operating procedure for that.
Right.
So, can I ask you, is it possible that we do all our stuff in one night? So like, if we get to like, it's getting late and we're gonna do 17, can we wait and do all of ours together? Is that, or do we have to ask the moderator
We
that?
have to ask the moderator.
Okay.
So it's past 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
all right then, okay, you did not time. So at 7 o'clock, we have a public hearing for accessory dwelling special permit at 7 Dunbar Lane with reading and in accordance with
Mass General Laws, Chapter 40A, Section 9 and 11, and it's building bylaw, Section 530, accessory dwelling special permit, and Section 940, referral. The planning board will conduct a public hearing at 7 p.m. on Thursday, March 26, 2026, in the select board hearing room at Scituate Town Hall, 600 Chief Justice Cushing Highway. The subject of the hearing is an application submitted by applicant owners Gregory and Cara Kelleher for an accessory dwelling special permit for a large detached accessory dwelling to be located in a new structure to the south of the existing family home at property located at 7 Dunbar Lane, Scituate, Mass, with access from First Parish Road. The property as shown on assessor's map, lot parcel 50-6-15. Plans are available for review with the planning board office, etc.
Good evening.
Great, thank you. For the record, Gregory Morse, registered engineer, Morse Engineering, representing the property owner and applicant Greg and Kara Kelleher. As was just read into the record, we're here seeking a special permit for a large ADU under section 530.2 of the bylaw. This ADU is about 18 square feet larger than the one that was just approved a few minutes ago. The purpose here is so that the Kellehers can bring their parents onto the property and relocate. Mr. Kelleher, Greg Kelleher, the owner of the property, grew up here in town. His parents reside here in town, and they want to move closer to their son and grandchildren. This property is located in the R3 zoning district. The lot itself is rather large for the district. It's 30,134 square feet. There are wetlands along the northern boundary of the property associated with the Scituate Brook. There's 302 feet of frontage on Dunbar Lane and 44 feet of frontage on First Parish Road. Technically, it's not a corner lot, but it does have frontage on 2 streets. There's an existing home at the property. The existing home is a 4-bedroom home. It was built in 1954. It has been extensively renovated over the years since then. It's approximately 3,564 square feet in size. The work associated with the home is valid under an order of conditions from the Conservation Commission because it's in the buffer zone to those wetlands. That is an open order of conditions. While the home renovations have been completed at this point, there remains some wetland enhancement and replication areas that were to be done, and some additional landscape work that remains open under that order, which is a valid order. The proposal here is to construct a detached ADU. The detached ADU would be up on the First Parish Road portion of the property. We had architect Alyssa Jones Design Studio put together the architectural plans, which document that the building is going to be approximately 30 feet from the front lot line and 8.5 feet from the side lot lines, complying with all zoning setbacks. It's largely outside of the wetland buffer zone, although we do have to go to conservation for an amendment to the order of conditions. We also will need a stormwater permit due to the increase in impervious land surface. The new ADU is 2 bedrooms. It's 1,367 square feet in size, which represents 38.3% of the floor area of the principal dwelling. The bylaw allows up to 40%. It would be a wood-framed shingle style, 1.5-story building. The height is 28 foot 1 inch, as documented on the plans. We provided a summary of the requirements under section 530.2 A through T, which we believe we meet with this application. The project is serviced by municipal water and sewer, and we'd be connecting to both of those with the ADU. I'm going to turn it over to you.
So this is a special permit, so it needs a 4/5 vote. I see things a little bit differently with this ADU. This ADU, well, it says it's 1,367 square feet and basement. The basement counts as gross floor area. It has a ceiling height of 9 feet, has French doors and 2 windows. The building commissioner and I see that it's added to the gross square floor, so this ADU is too large. So there, as the plan now stands, I don't see how you can approve it. The site plan also doesn't match the architectural plans. So there needs to be some minor changes on the site plan. There was a change with the first set of plans that came in, did have a staircase going down to the basement. That was taken out. But the building commissioner still feels that the ceiling height in the basement looks like it's habitable area. So it's too big. So I see basically 3 options. That it gets denied tonight, if the applicant asks to withdraw it, or the applicant asks for continuance and tries to make the ADU conform. I mean, and they could come back with an application of 900 square feet, and the board would have to approve it.
This is the size of a small, not a small house, of a good-sized house that you would find anywhere in town.
Well, it's quite dark.
A starter house. It is huge.
It's big. Ms. Willis, do you have anything to say?
I'm still thinking.
Okay.
For something else.
If it doesn't meet the 40% requirement, doesn't meet the 40% requirement, I guess that's the applicant. What's their preference on the 3 options?
Go ahead.
It's too big.
Ms. Brooke.
I agree. I mean, just, yeah, by what we have for the square footage requirement, it is exceeding that. We could go quite a bit over with the finished goods.
If I may, so since we submitted the first round of architectural plans, we eliminated the connection from the ADU to the basement. The basement is for utility space. We're willing to put in a drop ceiling, so while the forms and the foundation are a 9 foot, the ceiling height would be under 7 feet, so it's not a habitable basement. And that would be acceptable.
Noted on the plans.
Could be noted on the plan or conditioned.
He wants it at 6 feet 8 inches.
We would be fine with that.
I don't think it's something that you should condition. I think it should be on the plans before we have,
Before we.
right.
We need that before us, so it's not a promise.
There's other things to fix anyway, right? Site
Yes.
plan doesn't match.
Yeah, the site plan does match the new architectural drawings.
So we're shy of the base. We're all good with the upstairs, so then things have to match.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're saying it's too big.
Says 38.8% not counting the basement. Is that what we're talking?
Right. Yeah. I mean, so it's still gonna be large from the rear, it's like 3 stories. But, that's, you did put in the bylaw a large provision. And plans need to show that the ceiling height in the basement is not going to be, what's considered habitable space. I mean, because it has French doors and windows.
That makes
That
sense.
was her basement right here, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes it a walkout, we can camp out in the basement.
Right, but but the definition of if they drop the ceiling, then it doesn't count as habitable space. That's by definition in the building.
Okay, even if it has the door and the window.
Yeah,
That's the.
yeah.
It becomes an access to the utilities that you typically would have in the basement, and it's storage for outdoor lawn chairs and furnitures and stuff. So we're willing to add that note, and I'll make sure that we take care of whatever discrepancies. I wasn't aware of any, but I'll ask Karen what they are specifically, and I'll make the revisions.
Could you identify yourself with your name and address, please?
My name's Lauren Allen Smith and I'm at 65 First Parish. And I see that the building code, section 530 part P, said that the detached accessory dwelling unit shall be designed to the maximum extent practical so that the appearance on the property in which it is located remains that of a single-family residential property. And then it goes on. And I'm just wondering how that would be maintained, given that there would be an additional curb cut and access point on First Parish, whereas the main residence access is on Dunbar Lane. So that, I wasn't sure how that would work.
Valid question. So you need a curb cut from DPW.
So Mr. Kelleher has spoken with Mr. Cafferty at DPW about getting that curb cut, and DPW is fine with us doing that. There's going to be a restriction likely on when the work can happen during school hours or off school hours because we are directly across from the elementary school, but it was not an issue with DPW.
The building code section 530 part R says that only one curb cut per primary dwelling unit is allowed unless it's grandfathered in as having already existed. So that would be an additional curb. So
This is one curb cut for the primary unit.
This is accessory dwelling. So that's one curb cut. So like, for instance, they don't like circular driveways for
Okay.
one house, two curb cuts, that's what that means.
okay.
Point taken though, totally understand you. Anybody else? I think we have somebody online.
There were clapping hands,
Oh, they're clapping hands, okay, I didn't know
but
that.
they're not there anymore.
Oh, okay.
Can I ask a question here?
Oh, he has raised his hand now.
Okay, well, hold on, sir. Yeah.
I'm just looking at the layout here. I would do a 6'8" ceiling, 7'2" windows.
Yeah, that would be a question.
So I'll have to talk to the architect about that, but they'll add that, they'll revise the windows if necessary. Yep, check windows.
Yes, could you allow that, or whatever happens here? Hello?
What do you got? He disappeared.
No, he's there.
Hello, can I speak?
All right, hello, yes, could you identify yourself, please, with your name and address?
Yes, Greg Davey, and I own the property at 50 First Parish Road, directly adjacent to the property in question. I just don't see how this qualifies as appearing as a single family dwelling. This looks like a full house. Even with the lowered ceiling, it looks like a 3-story house, particularly from my location, which is down, down elevation from it. So from my opinion, this is squeezing a little house on a tiny little lot that is substantial.
Thank you. I would have to agree, it's very narrow at the top and widens at the bottom. As you can see,
Can I ask him a question?
sure,
How close is this extension, if you will, to your property line?
It appears to be 8 feet. From the-
Oh, it's the minimum, then, okay.
Yeah, I mean, so even, I mean, I have to question the intent of the law about the ceiling height being lowered, with drop ceilings or whatever. The exterior is still going to be that of a three-story dwelling. You're not taking that height off of the dwelling height.
We hear that, thank you. So, Mr. Morse, you've heard our discussion, which is, this is just to date, but you probably, yes, ma'am, sorry.
Sure. Susanna Otta, 56 First Parish Road. So we are on the opposite side of the new proposed ADU. We have some concerns about, should there be a cut into First Parish Road, the elevation correction that would be required in order for cars to drive into the ADU garage. This would be pretty much along our fence line and up. So we have a small yard. It's about 8 feet, just like Greg Davies house. So we're concerned about runoff, concerned about sort of cars and trucks being parked at this level. Just concerned about how that would be handled.
Mr. Morse?
Sure. So we have to have a curb cut permit with the DPW. That has to address the radius and the driveway off of First Parish Road. We're going to have a stormwater permit through Conservation Commission. This plan already depicts that there'll be a swale along the lot lines of both abutters here. But the stormwater permit will be fully vetted because all the stormwater on this site ends up in the wetlands. All of the stormwater on this site stays on Mr. Kelleher's property. It doesn't go onto any of the abutters' properties. It all slopes onto him. So during construction, there's adequate parking off of Dunbar Lane in the driveway of the principal dwelling until such a time that the driveway for the ADU is constructed, and that could be used.
Can I speak again?
Sure.
It keeps on getting pointed out that the DPW has no problem with the curb cut, but the DPW is, they're not really worried about the zoning and the look and everything that went into the zoning. They're more concerned with the mechanical aspects of the street infrastructure. So it's really kind of a moot point that they're okay with it. It really has to be, does it fit the zoning as it was intended?
Can I just make one
Ask a
comment?
question.
Can I make a comment first?
Sure.
Just so everybody fully understands. I mean, if this hearing is continued, there's no guarantee that they can get a special permit. I mean, so that's one thing the planning board is gonna have to decide. But the planning board would have to give a 900 square foot ADU a permit. That it would be a protected use ADU. So I'm just reminding you of that.
So I would ask you that if that were to happen, Mr. Morse, if the access to the accessory dwelling would be off of Dunbar Lane and not off of First Parish.
No, there really isn't access off of Dunbar Lane into the backyard or the side yard of this house. I think this structure, as you see it, whether there's an ADU in it or not, I think it's Mr. Kelleher's intention to construct it, to have the garage space, to have the basement space and storage space. The ADU is interior of it, and he's hoping to move his parents into it. But it wouldn't go elsewhere on the property. It couldn't go in the lower area due to the proximity of the wetlands in the floodplain in the riverfront area. So we've tried to put it as high up on the topography outside the wetland resource areas and as close to the municipal services, which are your water and sewer, as possible. Along this portion of First Parish Road, there are several smaller sized zoning lots and several smaller homes. We felt that this was in keeping with the other homes up and down that stretch. Similar setbacks, it is similar sizes. The lot itself, the width of it, there are several lots that are only 50 or 60 feet wide. There's similar constraints.
So what I say at every other meeting, it doesn't really matter what happens around you. We are only dealing with this one particular piece of property.
And sewer is an issue. You've got a comment from the sewer division, and they do have to work on the sewer so that it gets properly located because there's a pump.
Yeah.
So it has to be able to pump both units.
Was the fire department consulted?
No.
It
If
looks
you'd like me
pretty
to-
hard to get access to.
If you'd like me to contact the fire department, I can contact the fire
Yeah, I
department.
mean, that looks like you just put a shotgun house
Well, yeah, that's
Narrow,
true.
so
2 stories,
Well, actually, it looks like 3 stories.
3 stories.
For an accessory dwelling unit, which actually looks like 2 houses on 1 lot,
That's right.
which is not, cannot be done, but this is the kind of a tight lot.
Well, it might look a little different if it was all part of a single lot with a single sort of access, but these 2 completely different accesses.
That's
Two
And
problematic.
the one coming in from First Parish looks really tight.
Yeah, it's a little problematic. That access off of First Parish, again, makes it look like 2 houses on 1 lot. And it is a tight lot, there's no doubt about that. Doubt to look at this several times, looked at it from several directions. I know that there are still outstanding issues with conservation, right? But the previous project.
We have to go to conservation and the previous project is still open, yes.
Can I ask you how long that's been open for?
The permit, I think, was obtained in 2022.
I did talk to the conservation agent this week. She has had a communication with the owner and they indicated they're getting ready to start putting the wetland replication and doing the work that was supposed to be done.
That was supposed to be done 2 years ago, 3 years ago. What
It's-
So
2026.
that's what she said. I've been checking with her every week. She said she had communication with the owner now.
So, Mr. Morse, we've given you 3 options.
I'd like to request a continuance to your next available meeting.
The understanding that does still not guarantee an acceptance of the borrowing, right?
We understand that.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah, Carsten Ott, 56 First Parish Road, also in Button. I just want to refer you to a letter that we have submitted that summarized our concerns specifically of runoffs and specifically based on the experience from the last inspection.
So it was a bad experience for me.
Based on that, due to fillings that were added to the property, we have experienced additional wetland and additional water impacts on our property.
Yeah, as have we.
Why we always talk about stormwater?
I just think it's too big. And for the location that it's in, that it looks to me, at one point, it's almost like having a duplex. 2 houses on 1 lot. They're not connected, but, and I understand, the whole concept of ADUs, but this to me is a little bit outside the scope. It's cramming it in. It would be one thing, if you've got 2 floors, 3 floors really. It's too big. At this moment in time, you can continue it, but I'm not sure I can support it.
Well, that's what we're gonna have to talk about. So if you look at A2-1, and you look at the rear elevation, that's a 3-story house. Yep.
It is.
The way that the zoning code is written, you take an average grade plane. Scituate allows a maximum height of 35 feet. This building measures at 28 feet. From the front elevation, if you look at it from First Parish Road, this is what we call a 1.5-story house. You've built the 2nd floor into the gables of the roof. It's not a full 2nd story. You're correct. The back basement essentially is a walkout, even though it won't be habitable space,
But
because
that's
the topography comes
that's
down off of First Parish Road. So you gain an extra story there. So you'd be looking at 2.5 stories. Scituate allows up to 4 stories in some of its districts. 3 in this one. We're under the maximum of 35. We're coming in at 28. So
And the question, and part of this question though, is whether this is clearly scored.
It isn't.
Yeah.
So that's,
always been the criteria. But, I mean, we're giving you feedback and I'm fine with doing the continuance. It's just, what do you bring back that?
yeah, I've certainly heard your feedback, and I think Mr. Kelleher has too. And again, that continuance we'd appreciate.
Yeah, I would like to add something to this remark. cast water 56 First Parish Road. The area where the house would start is already above the level of our 5-foot fence. So while the
I'm sorry, already above what?
we have a 5-foot chain link fence or 6-foot fence, this building would already, the first floor would already start above our fence at that point, because the land really drops down.
It drops
Which side is that?
That's the back, so towards the backside. So when you look at the driveway, the proposed driveway, at the point where the house starts, it would already exceed our 6-foot fence.
Oh. And you're on the,
We're on the-
56?
We are 56, yeah, we are the.
So when you look at this property, there's a fence and there's a hill, and they're like you could sled down the hill, it's quite a steep hill.
How big is the basement going to be? Is it the same size as the front floor? Is it-
No, it's the front third of this building is a garage. And so that is a slab. There's no basement under the garage. So it's essentially the back half or almost 2/3 of that footprint has basement space in it. That's what it is. The architectural plans,
I have the square footage.
the, yeah, it doesn't have the square footage, but it has the dimensions of it. It's 21 feet wide by 22 feet for the garage, which is a slab. And then the basement area is 20 feet by 19. And then the back storage area is 14.5 by 13. So
It's like 500 square feet.
right around 500, yeah, plus or minus.
Refrigerators, storage rooms,
And 2 bathrooms,
walk-in closet, bigger than my clothes.
bigger than Pamper's house.
When you heard what we said, I personally don't think that it is subordinate to the existing house. I think it's much too big for the lot that it's going on. The issue about the curb cut, I always thought DPW wasn't so happy about giving curb cuts, but
I didn't have any, I will talk to Kevin
Yeah.
Caffrey and ask him what he said.
But
don't have any comments.
I would assume,
Oh, they didn't buy it at all.
no. So I would assume that an accessory dwelling unit, which is accessory to the main house, should have the same access points as the main house does. That's how I interpret that, that's open to discussion. I see that,
Mr. Air, I think.
Mr. Air, would you like to say something else?
It's actually Greg Davey.
Oh, sorry.
That's just the name of the computer. Yeah, I'd just like to point out, because it was mentioned that it may not look from like a 3-story house from the road. I'm a further elevation down, and this would be sitting on, up on a hill, and then it's 3 stories up to me, so it would really look like a 4-story house. It's substantial. A substantial. It would block the sun.
It's up there pretty high. Karen?
All right, so, it seems that they want to request for continuance. So I think that you could do it on April 23rd, so the motion, I didn't make a motion for
All
it.
right, so,
Move to accept the applicant's request for a continuance of public hearing for the ADU at 7 Dunbar until April 23rd at 6:45 PM.
Sorry.
She said,
Mr. Woods, we would expect new drawings and whatnot to be available to us at that time.
Understood.
To be submitted before that.
Yeah, well, way before that, but, you've heard all about this, which is,
We have.
we are trying to live up to, we understand the whole thing, it's very nice, everybody wants their parents to live with them. However, on that particular lot, you could only build as much as you plan to go around. So, as I often say, you might have the right to do it, it doesn't always mean it's the right thing to do. That's how I interpret that. So we will see you back there on April 23rd.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Or you ever going to come back?
Is there a copy of the plan that I could?
You can have
You can have mine. We have lots of them.
Or if you want to email me tomorrow, I can email you a copy.
Or you want to read it?
Okay.
I live on 47 Brook.
I'll take one.
You can have mine, you can have mine. They just-
You have them?
Less.
Like we have them on our.
What?
Let's not resign it.
Yeah, I mean, I do have.
Thank you.
I have a chart here.
Thanks.
Yeah, we have everything.
The one-
Later, do you want these?
You can have it.
Oh, thanks.
Yes.
Do you want the floor plans as well?
I think
I won't take anything.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We're lucky.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you very much. We'll see you on the 23rd.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So now we're gonna have town meeting discussion, we already had a town meeting discussion. Thank you and come back.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Don't forget your jacket.
On your jacket, yeah.
That's how we get all our jackets.
I'll get all our clothing. So now we're going to have our town meeting again, Joe?
Right, so right now we have the town meeting. We have the town meeting reports, what I'm trying to do, kind of didn't like some of them, so I revised what I thought you told me to revise, and so I did that. So we'll start to go through them one by one. Article 17, we didn't have a problem with that, so I didn't change any wording. So, and that was, Rebecca was going to read that one. Okay. Article 18, I changed it to how you wanted me to, change that.
Steve, that was your suggestion.
I'm sorry, I'm still trying to find my pieces of paper.
Is it not in your folder there?
No, we didn't make copies for everybody, but I can give you my
I
copy.
do have it in an email.
Steve, you can have my folder.
That's okay.
Last time you told me to say the changes in this article for corrections in the town of Scituate zoning bylaw table of uses to correct inconsistencies in the zoning bylaw that align with state laws.
That sounds good. Did I say that?
Yes.
You said that, Mr. Pritchard, yes. Who works in that for us?
I'm reading that one too.
All right.
Right, Rebecca's reading that one too.
The ones that are not controversial this time.
Then we go to Article 19, which you didn't ask for any changes in the wording, and Anne was gonna do that one. Then we go to Article 20.
And you had a lot of things in this.
No, not too much. The changes in this article allow for inclusion of the 150-foot non-disturbance buffer zone to include from the high water mark the whole Logan Bucket Pond. This is in addition to Tack Factory Pond and the reservoir. That Steve wanted, the inclusion and this is in the addition.
Yep.
So I made those changes.
Is Anne reading that one as well?
Anne's reading that one. Okay. Article 21, the Village Center Neighborhood District. You kind of wanted me to change that whole thing. And so I spelled everything out and I did it like you said in number 1 and number 2. So the changes in this article for amendments to table 1 to change some allowed building types in sub-districts of the Village Center Neighborhood District. Number 1, cottage and cottage courts should not be allowed in the New Driftway Transit Village and DTV district as that is a mandatory mixed-use district used for MBTA compliance. Number 2, live-work buildings and mixed-use buildings should not be allowed in the Driftway Business Park CDP subdistrict, as that subject is proposed for commercial service, light industrial, and institutional uses. It does read better.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
With me?
This one was Ann too, I wrote down Ann,
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
All right.
but do you not wanna do that many? I mean,
I don't
does
care.
Laura wanna do any?
I come over here.
Okay, I'm just, yeah,
Maybe next time.
okay. So that was Article 21. Article 22 is, lot area and width. I changed it to say the changes in this article proposed to amend paragraph A. And then to indicate all required lot area must be contiguous, and to amend paragraph B. I put the words amend, you wanted me to put the words amend.
Yep.
And Patty is gonna read that one.
Look, is it the same thing we're looking at here? To amend language of paragraph B by striking the phrase buildable lot area?
That should be quite a lot.
Yeah, okay.
The option 2, Karen.
That's
No,
good.
option 2 is different from option 1.
Right, but he's reading option 2 right now.
That's what I'm looking at. If
Read
I'm
option
the
two.
wrong option.
Technically, you're only replacing one word. You're replacing buildable and required, something like that. So I don't care, whatever one you want, I will do.
So we're replacing the word buildable with required?
Buildable lot area to be
Right,
contiguous.
we're just changing one word, buildable to required in paragraph B.
So, you should say buildable lot area.
But if you think it's clearer to have option 2, I'll put option 2.
No one's gonna understand it anyway, so what's the deal?
Well,
It's just a little more suitable.
All right, then we'll do option 2. Okay.
I don't have a copy of that either.
No,
It's
I don't
in
have
your
either,
packet,
so, yeah.
It's in your pen. It says option 2 on pencil.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, and Patty had
Oh,
one
I
as
have-
well.
I got it,
sorry,
sorry. Okay, who's reading this one?
That was Patty.
All right, the next one
Next one
is a Hummer.
is a Hummer. I've broken out into the paragraphs as you had wanted to. And Patty is gonna read that.
Are you sure you want to do that?
So.
I'll do it if you
So-
No,
want.
I don't, no.
So there, as you know, I told you how everybody voted, advisory board voted, 3 to 5 on this. Select board voted 4 to 1. The bylaw review,
They understand.
they voted to diss the whole thing. So
Why?
I don't think they understood it. They never asked any questions to us, so how do I
We
really
can't
know?
respond to that.
So I have
Wait, so sorry, advisory, 3 to 5 in favor or against?
3 in favor, 5 against.
So it's interesting, so Connor Doherty is writing a motion for the minority report, and he supports us. And if I have brought myself with me, I have the advisory, and the summary is that what the planning board is doing is looking at the whole town, not just at R3, which is where everybody seems to think this is it. And the minority seems to think that we are making the right decision by putting that in there. So we'll see how persuasive they can be. Right now, it's property owners versus privacy, I think is what it comes down to.
But it's also property rights,
Yeah, property rights.
for one person, and the person next door, privacy notwithstanding, it's their property rights. It's everybody's
But
rights.
they don't, the people who advocate for the prior property rights don't see it that way.
Don't
Well, they should.
Well, that's
I know,
not
but
what
I'm just telling you, they don't see it.
Well,
that
then
way.
they're very narrow-minded.
Well,
So-
I think that's our job, is to.
Our job is to make a presentation to convince them that it is the right thing to do.
Yes, it is. It's the town. It's not for 1 or 2 people.
It's not for one area either.
Or one area or one street or one, whatever, it's for all of us.
So, based on what we've heard so far, we anticipate there might be some opposition. I don't know how strong the opposition is going to be. But I have asked town council the question that if we see the discussion going south for the decks, then maybe we want to amend the motion on the floor. And that would be basically to say that move to amend Article 23, Section 620, by removing Section 620.4, new paragraph from the article, removing the deck portion so that you still maintain the other two portions of the article. If we have,
people object to those two.
Well, I know who
well,
it is.
some people do object to those, and I mean, the bylaw review committee didn't understand those either. But
We don't wanna lose the whole,
we don't wanna lose the whole thing, but
just for that, yeah.
town council, if we elect, we can go to reconsideration. Okay, reconsideration has to be done the same night. And basically, it's up to the moderator who determines who can move to reconsider. I mean, he kind of thinks that, as the way town meetings have gotten a little bit looser, it usually was the prevailing side that could vote, had to authorize, some to move for reconsideration. But he kind of thinks it's anyone now. And so that I will be discussing at the moderator's meeting and having an answer hopefully on April 9th.
I just don't want to
Why would?
see, excuse me, Steve, I just don't want to see that if that's the last article and some fool stands up and asks for an adjournment, then we're cooked.
No,
It's not the last article.
I know, but
There's plenty of
if it
articles
goes
after
really
this.
long and late, somebody could ask,
Well, that's up to the moderator as well.
Adjourn to the next night.
yeah, but then we,
But reconsideration has to be at the
That
same
night.
night.
Why would anybody, just playing this out,
Yeah.
if you lost the vote, why would anybody reconsider it?
Why? Because you have two other portions in that article. You have two sections, one with height and one with changing the setback from 8 to 15 feet.
Yeah,
And it's-
I'm presuming those are part of the objections as well.
No,
No,
they're not
no.
objecting to the one, no.
You just told me other people.
Well, just the bylaw review, select board have no problem with those other portions. Advisory didn't appear to have any problem with those portions either.
That's just that one section.
it's about the decks.
It's about the decks. So I just,
Well, should we get ahead of it?
Well, we're trying to.
yes, I'm trying to get ahead of it. I
No,
mean,
but taking it out.
no, I don't think we should. Because the more people who come into the office, to talk about different issues, like some of the people here tonight clearly are gonna vote in favor of the article. I mean, because if you look at the site plan, it shows, the site plan still shows the deck in the setback. I asked for a revised plan, and I was told no. So,
you have to bring back things.
I think we should wait till people need to think about it. And I think that we should discuss it again after we've talked to the moderator on the 9th.
So people will be aware that the warrant was published online today. I have the advisory book if anybody wants, which has the comments in it. That tells you how people voted, so if you want that, I can send that to you.
Are they available as a handout or no?
Well, I got it as a handout from the town clerk.
Not
so-
yet, not yet.
Not yet.
The stuff isn't back from the.
Well, not having the project. Yes, so to print the warrants is 52 double-sided pages. It's a long.
It's a long warrant. Some of the art, stormwater is a lot of pages.
Yeah.
You don't need a report to town meeting on stormwater because that's a
Sure.
general bylaw. And Sean McCarthy will be there to help present stormwater as well. I took out section C. And so what was left, D moved to C. So I took out the stuff about the staking plan because both advisory and select board voted that part down.
Because they didn't understand it.
So, but they just felt it added cost to a project that was unnecessary, which I firmly disagree, but, you know, I can't see losing the bylaw over one thing.
I would have it.
We're gonna have the stuff that we need to have for MS4, and we got a few other little changes in, which, you know, that's good.
And you have to protect the town.
I understand.
So all of the zoning.
I just understand that if there's this one thing that we've got a lot of objections to,
Right,
then the town representation is sort of speaking in why, you know,
Well, maybe
why bring that up at this point if we can get, you know, make the perfect the enemy of the good, that basically, why not just strike that one and get the rest of it passed?
Well, because the select board's for it, 4-1.
4-1,
Right.
The
4-1.
4 in favor of it and 1 opposed.
And one opposed. It's the advisory board that wants to create.
And you know, it all
And then
depends.
the advisory board sort of speaks for the.
I disagree with that.
Right, but I think you have to look at who's going to be presenting the articles. And I think the minority, I think that Connor Doherty is very well spoken.
Yes. Very persuasive.
And this is really, when you come right down to it, I don't want to mention it, but I support this deck part of it, and I, for one, do not want to see it go away.
We can,
I'll be prepared for it to go.
Well,
We were just talking about that.
right,
we
but I
we
think
have a way to get out of it.
we have a way to get out of it.
but
And so we have 2 weeks to the moderators meeting, and we'll refine, we'll talk with the moderator that, you know, at the meeting. And I've already gotten some draft motions, and, you know, I've gotten some, you know, what I basically just read from town council. So, you know, we'll have to see what happens, but the more people who I talk to, you know, people who come in the office, definitely support.
you don't want a deck on the second floor.
No, if it's already there, it can't be.
Right, but if it's not there, it shouldn't be.
So you have to kind of make that clarification, that is for new buildings in the.
Bob Vogel will be
Sure.
speaking, he's already written, he's already written something in for the town meeting. And it is very, very good.
And I think that when people start to read the words, it really start to understand probably what's at stake.
And remember who goes to town meeting.
Absolutely.
People that have decided what,
Yeah.
people at town meeting do, that's the reality.
Yeah.
You gotta get enough people.
Yeah,
You gotta
well, that's-
drag people in, we're not gonna.
I know, it's unfortunate, but we do have to do that.
So I didn't want to talk too much earlier about that letter,
Yeah.
but that letter, in your folders is on ADUs.
It's on the what?
It's on ADUs.
I know.
And so I just want everybody to be aware of what it says. We asked for it in writing because it's gonna become an issue.
And huge issue.
So I wanted something
Who's
that
it from?
we could all fall back on. And I know we don't like it, but it's what, sometimes we have to do what we have to do.
It seems like we did a lot of work for a lot of company.
Now, this is really only pre-existing non-conforming.
I know. May not prevent the development. They're not conformance. Well, we'll just have to live with that, see how the town goes for it. So that's kind of all I have tonight.
We'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, good night.